everyone. This is the Slow Cozy Podcast. I'm Whitney, and this is episode 7. So it's been a while, again, since I posted anything, but you know what, I've decided that I'm just going to keep doing this as I kind of feel like it. I think that it's no fun for anyone if this feels forced, so I'm just going to keep posting whenever I feel like it's something I'd like to do. Today, actually what got me going was a friend I recently actually met through the Guild. She is having like a special Black Friday campaign, but I will get to that in just a minute. I'll include it at the beginning because the sale, or it's not a sale, it's a campaign. It starts tomorrow on Black Friday. To any of you in the US, happy Thanksgiving. In Canada, it happened here back in October. It's always much earlier here in Canada. But for those of you who have a long weekend, I hope you're having a great time, and I will get right into it. So first, I guess I'll talk about the video. So originally this video was going to be me talking about my trip I did back at the tail end of September. I did a road trip through BC, took a bunch of video. I posted some pictures on Instagram for those of you who follow me there. So I was going to include my knitting and crafts update stuff with that, but I realized after looking at everything I had to talk about, it was going to be an unreasonably long video. So I figured I'm going to post this. This will be all about the stuff I've completed since I last posted, as well as the things I'm working on. And then I'll have, I guess, like a bonus video soon of all the footage and the stuff I did during my trip. And also for those of you who don't really care about my trip, or, you know, you don't feel like watching that part of it, then it's easy for you to just not watch that video. So I just thought it'd be fun to kind of do more of like a travel kind of video, and then I can talk, it'll be more voiceover stuff, but a bit of talking about that after the fact, even though the trip is now like a month ago, 2 months ago. I can't believe it's already the end of November. Anyways, so just so you know, that's what this video is going to be. It's the vast majority is knitting, but I do have an update on the cross stitch I was working on. So let's see. Let's talk about the campaign. So Kim, who I met last week through the Guild that I'm part of, the Crocus County Fiber Arts Guild, she has a shop called Crafty That Way. And I saw the other day she posted a reel on Instagram about what she was planning on doing for Black Friday. And instead of a sale, she's holding a campaign where part of the proceeds from her sales go towards the ACWS, which is the Alberta Council for Women's Shelters. I think that's the acronym. But what I'll do is I'll post her Instagram handle here. So if you're interested in, I'll give you some of the details here, but check out her Instagram, watch the reel. She has links on there, all the information's there. But I really wanted to share it here too, just in case it reaches a few more people, because I think it's great what she's doing. So her plan is, the campaign runs for the 16 days. That is, it's the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. So she talks a bit more about that there. She knows much more than me, but essentially any sales on Black Friday from her shop, so that's Friday, November 25th, which I should be posting this video on that day. 25% of her sale proceeds from her shop go towards the ACWS. And then 15% for the remainder, so November 26th to December 10th, will go towards that cause. She also will have a link where you can donate directly if that's what you want to do. And then she is also going to create a colorway where 100% of the proceeds of that will go towards the ACWS. So I just thought that was a really great idea. Instead of kind of the Black Friday sales that a lot of people do, not that there's anything wrong with that, but because I did, meet her last week, she's great. I actually bought some fiber off of her last week. I'll show it to you in kind of the acquisitions phase, but it's amazing fiber. And just knowing that you can help towards a worthy cause, I think is amazing. So thanks for doing that, Kim, and hopefully you guys will check out her shop. So again, include her Instagram handle here so you guys can go visit her. So moving on, back to normal kind of stuff. I guess we'll start with what I'm wearing. So this sweater, I don't think I've worn this one before on the podcast. I don't think so. If I have, forgive me. But this is one of my most treasured knits. This is the Visiting Cardigan by Stella Ackroyd. It's in one of the Lina magazines. As usual, I'll include everything in the description, so if you're looking for the pattern, you can look there. But the reason why I love this sweater so much is it's my first garment that I've made with wool that I spun myself. So this is BFL. This is BFL fiber I got from Penelope Fiber Arts out in BC, which again, another amazing shop. If you are in the market for spinning fiber, they have great prices, amazing customer service, like they're great. So this took me quite a while. It's a worsted weight yarn, a 3-ply worsted spun. So like this is a really heavy, warm cardigan, and I love it. It's almost like a weighted blanket. And this is a size 3, and I used 4.5 millimeter needles on this. If you see me like looking down, it's just me looking at my notes. Hopefully it's not too distracting. But this isn't actually technically finished. I started this in January, so almost a year ago, and I finished it. I think I finished it in March, but I haven't put the buttons on yet. There's button holes, but there's no buttons on the other side. I even have the buttons. I don't know why I haven't attached them, but it's one of those things that I keep forgetting. And I wear this open most of the time anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But that's this. I'll give you guys a closer look. There's the back. And yeah, it's a beautiful pattern. I think it fits really well. I love it. It's great over a dress like this, or just with jeans or whatever. So underneath is my hinterland dress. I made this dress spring of 2021, so almost 2 years ago. And this is made with the sand washed cotton from Blackbird Fabrics. This is one of my favorite dresses. It's super versatile. It works in this kind of weather we're having a warmer day here. I think it's about 3 degrees Celsius. So this with boots and a sweater, it's perfect in the fall or in the summer. I made the short sleeve version, so you can wear it in the spring and the summer too. I did take some pictures of this when I made it, so maybe I can include those here if I can find them again. But the buttons too, the buttons are actually from my local yarn store, from Stash, and they're these beautiful like little brass buttons, and I thought they went perfectly with this sand wash cotton. Oh, and this, I mean, it has pockets, it's perfect. And it's like a midi length. Very relaxed, fits really well. I wear it all the time. And the sandwich cotton, I was a little worried it was going to fade really quickly and kind of look like shabby, but I've washed and dried this dozens of times and it's still holding up really well. I mean, you can see a little bit of fading at the seams, but I don't think it looks bad. I think it just kind of looks, it's kind of like linen where it just wears in and gets better with time. So that's what I'm wearing. I will move on to finished objects. So I have a ton of them. I will start with the one I was wearing when I gave you the update of episode 6, which I recorded right before I went for Canadian Thanksgiving dinner. And I forgot it. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go grab it. Also, you'll notice I'm yet again in another spot. Excuse me, this is in my room. The light seems to be best here in the winter. I have a south-facing window, so there is some natural light coming in on my light on. So hopefully this is better. Last time I was recording in the living room, and it was way overexposed. Didn't work out too great, so hopefully this is a little bit better, and it's easier to set up. And I have my, I'll say too, I have my candle burning here. This is from Tofino from my trip. The scent is called Cox Bay, and you can see it's like a massive candle and it smells amazing. And also, I haven't even talked about, today I made a chai latte. This is just using the concentrate. I bought it from Costco. The Tazo chai latte mix. So it's super easy. It's by no means the best chai I've had, but you just mix half this, half of milk, heat it up. I have an espresso machine, so I use my like steam one, but you could even microwave it and it would be really easy and really tasty. So back to finished objects. This is my Wool and Honey. So this is a pattern by Andrea Mowry, which I'm sure all of you will recognize. Very, very popular. And I'm actually just going to put this on over my dress. I'll be right back. Just so you can kind of see how it fits. Okay, so this, let's move this out of the way so you can see me. So this is the Wool and Honey, and I'm in love. I'll show you the cuff here. And this is the hem. Okay, so I'm obsessed with this sweater. It fits so well. And I'm glad I really put thought into the size I wanted to make. I made a size 3, which is typically what I do with Andrea's patterns. And I got very close to gauge when I did my gauge swatch. But there, as you can see, there is like a lot of ease. I think there's 8 to 10 inches of ease on this guy. But the way it sits and the way it's cropped, I find Andrea's patterns are too cropped for my torso. Like I have a longer torso than I think what her patterns are usually drafted for. So I made the torso a bit longer and I made the sleeves a bit longer. They're like almost a bracelet length, kind of 3/4. But when wearing this with like jeans that kind of come to my like true waist, it just sits perfectly. It's awesome. Like it rides up if I lift my arms, but if I just wear like a tank top or a tee underneath, like tucked in, it's great. And it's kind of just this like effortless easy thing I can throw on. This was knit using Knit Picks pallets. So I bought this yarn on sale last year in October, so over a year ago, with the intent of knitting this sweater. I do that a lot. I'll like plan my projects by the yarn, and then I don't end up knitting things for like a year or two after, because I always have so many things I'd like to do, which is a bad habit I'm actually trying to get out of this year, because I've found I have so much yarn in my stash that I'm starting to want to knit different things with the yarn I have, or the plans I have for the yarn don't work out, and then I have all this yarn I don't know what to do with. So that's a bit of a tangent I can talk about later. But this one I did use, I bought 8 skeins. I ended up using 7. They're 50-gram balls that you get from Knit Picks. The color's turmeric, and I think it was 3.75 millimeter needles I used for this guy. And I did use a tubular cast on. It's a top down, so I cast on tubular for the neck, which worked out really well, and then the tubular cast off for the arms and the hem. I haven't perfected this yet. Casting on I can do, casting off it's either too loose or too tight. I haven't found that like perfect way of doing it. Andrea's tutorials are great. That's what I've used to learn how to do that technique. They've been up there forever. You can check them out on YouTube. But, and I've had to depill this, I think twice. I've worn it quite a bit. So the palette, because it's this like 2-ply woolen spun yarn, it pills like crazy at first. So it doesn't look great, but I have a gleaner. It's really, really easy to take off the pills. And I thought I was afraid the yoke would be super, delicate. Like I thought these might catch, but they've actually been, they've been fine. I actually caught one of the sleeve kind of stitches and pulled it out, but again, I was able to fix that. Anyways, I love this. The yarn was on sale. I think the whole sweater cost me $30 or something crazy like that. I'm sure you guys have watched a lot of videos where people have made this sweater. It's a few years old now, and it's very, very popular. But just my experience, I've heard podcasters say that this was a slog, and it did take a long time. I think maybe it's because this was my primary knit when I was on vacation. It was just so nice to have like the garter stitch, and it's in the round, so there's like a purl round and then a knit round and then a purl round. So there's a lot of purling. So if you hate purling, it's probably not the best pattern. But I would encourage you to maybe try it, because purling's like anything else. The more you practice, the better you get, and then it's not such a big deal. So I think the garter stitch looks amazing with this like yoke pattern, and I'm obsessed. I love it. I'm going to be wearing this one a lot. So yeah, love it. I guess I'll just keep this on until later. Next, if you've watched any of my other episodes, I've been slowly knitting on these hats. This is the I think it's called 0815 hat by, I think it's Statkind Knits. It's a free pattern. It's just a basic ribbed hat, but if you haven't watched my episodes before, I have all this acrylic yarn left. It's called Loops and Threads. It's from Michaels. I think it's the Michaels brand, at least here in Canada it is. It's very, very affordable yarn. I bought it ages ago to make a blanket, but I had so much left. So knowing that I probably wouldn't use this yarn for anything I would wear, my plan is to knit a bunch of hats, and then kind of when winter reaches its peak here, so like shortly after Christmas time, I'm going to drop off a bunch of these hats at the local shelter, or one of them. So hopefully they can get somewhere. And what's great about acrylic is it's machine washable, you can dry it, it's really durable. So hopefully these keep some heads warm this winter. I'm making them in a bunch of different sizes, and I'm just gonna use up this yarn. So this one, it's Green Lagoon, I think the color is, and it says US size 7 and 8. I believe, so a 4.5 and a 5 millimeter if I'm not mistaking. And this is an adult small, so here, I'll just put it on. And honestly, they're so cute. Like, I kind of want to make one for myself out of like a wool yarn. But if you need like just like a simple hat, check out that pattern. It's free, like I said. It's a great pattern. I love it. There's two different decrease options. This is the normal one where it's a little more pointy, but there's one that there's an option she has where you can make it more of like a watch cap kind of style. Personally, I like this style better, but whatever you want. Anything else for this? I don't think so. We'll move on. Okay. What can I do next? Oh, okay. We're gonna do this. This is something a little different. When I was talking about meeting Kim last week, she was actually teaching us how to make pom-poms for hats. So originally I was like, oh, I know how to make a yarn pom-pom. I think a lot of people do, but I love the fur and faux fur pom-poms that you can buy, you know, online or at your local yarn shop or whatever, that have the snaps on them so that you can add them to a hat and you take them off if you ever need to wash the hat, and then you can just snap it back on, or you can switch out pom-poms for like different colors. So I made 3. This is my first faux fur one. Look how cute. And here's the snap at the back. So this is just a little, so you attach this to your hat and then you can just pop it on. And they're a little more secure than, I've seen the method where you have like a ribbon or a scrap piece of yarn and then you can tie it on the inside of the hat, but I find that a little like floppy, and this way it holds on a little more securely and the pom-pom's not just like flopping everywhere. So I made this in like a tan color. This is another faux fur one in a brown color. They're just so much fun. And faux fur, I mean, I don't think it's that expensive. And these are 6-inch rounds. Actually, I don't know. I haven't seen any tutorials for this online. I haven't really looked. Let me know if you want me to do a tutorial. I haven't done that before, but it might be something fun to try out. Yeah, let me know. And then this, I had a couple rabbit pelts from a store called Buckskin in Calgary. So we're super lucky here. Buckskin is an amazing resources for everything like fur and leather. So depending on, I realize not everyone wears fur or leather, and I totally respect that. I do. I mean, I'm not going to explain the ethics behind that, but just to warn you, this is a fur one. So like, if you're not into that, maybe look away. But this is a rabbit fur one that I made. So a little bit shorter, but it's just it's so soft. And yeah, I love it. So I'll have to knit some hats to include these on. And yeah, so those are the pom-poms. And next I'm going to talk about some spinning. So any of you who have been watching since episode 1, which was I think way back in May already, I started another Andrea Mowry pattern called the Inclinations Shawl. And I wanted to do that one. I wanted something super colorful. I won't show it to you today because I haven't made any progress. But I guess the Coles Notes is I spun 4 skeins of yarn for it. And the 4th skein I attached, I didn't love how the color was combining with the other ones. So I bought another braid. They're all Targhee braids from Sweet Georgia. And I bought them at Stash here in Calgary. I bought this color called Escape. And I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. So this is a sport weight. It's a 2-ply fractal spin. So hopefully soon I can get that inclination shawl finally finished, because like I said, I started way back in, I think, April. So once I do make more progress in that, I will update you guys. Yeah, can you guys ever like do the skein thing? Like I'm so bad at it. They always look kind of wonky. Anyways, there it is. Let's see if you can see it there. There we go. Yeah. So the next is getting into gift knitting for the winter. So Mom, Dad, Megan, Steve, if any of you are watching, don't watch for this next update. I will let you know when you can, well, you're not going to be listening. Yeah, just stop watching if you are, because I don't want this to be ruined, but I really want to share these because they're so adorable. I'm so excited to give these at Christmas. So I like, for my family, I like to make like an ornament or a little like I made little pillows for them one year. I made little crochet trees for them one year. We're huge into Christmas. We all decorate a ton, which I haven't done this year, that's a whole other story. But something that can like add to the decoration, I guess, for their homes at Christmas time. So I found this pattern last year and I fell in love. So I already knew last year what I wanted to do. I'll show you a finished one here. So this is the Not Just Another Gnome pattern. Look at this, it's so cute. And this is perfect for, here, let's do this. This isn't, okay, there we go. As you can see, it is the same color as my sweater. I used some scraps from my sweater for this. And the beard, the hat, like it's all scraps from other fingering weight projects I had, which I have a ton of. So these are perfect to use up scraps. He's weighted, so you probably can't tell, but he has little weights in the bottom, so he's not gonna flop over. And the cabling is just so nice. And I love him. So I have this one, and I have this guy, and these are gonna go to my family members for Christmas. If you go to my Ravelry, I have all the information there, like what I'm using specifically, because I keep pretty good track of all my yarn stash there. So yeah, I just love these guys. They're even cabled in the back. So they take a bit of time. They're knit on 2.25 and 2.5 needles. So I won't give too much away because it is a paid pattern, but this pattern is great. I think it's Imagine Landscapes is the company. But she has a bunch of these cute little gnomes, and I just decided on these ones this year. So I have a few more to make, but I think they're adorable, and I definitely need one for myself. And I just think they're like great little stash busting gifts. I think they're just so delightful. I think that's it for finished objects. I'll move on now to works in progress. But before then, I'm going to take another sip. Actually, you know what? I'm going to talk to you guys a bit about, sorry about that. My camera cut out. I keep forgetting that it automatically stops after a certain amount of time. Have I been talking for half an hour already? Crazy. Anyways, where was I? Oh, right. I was going to talk about stash because I've been having this internal struggle this season with Black Friday sales, actually. So, I don't know about you, but I'm so weak when it comes to yarn sales. Like, especially if it's a yarn I've been coveting for a while, it's almost impossible for me not to buy it. And I haven't bought any this season yet. I'm not going to say I won't because you never know. But what I did to kind of, because everyone is struggling now with cost of living. Feels just so much more expensive here now. And I am, as I've talked about before, I'm on a fixed income because I can't work because of my disability. I have to be really careful about what I spend. I can't like just go spending a ton of money. I have to really plan it out. So I've been like putting things in my cart and then leaving them for a couple days and then taking them out and putting them on my wish list and then putting them back in. I went through this song and dance with the Knit Picks Big Sale that they have this time every year, which I mean, it's amazing deals. But it's like, okay, do I need this yarn? I have so much in my stash. Do I have room for more? And I'm going to run into this problem still where I like plan for a project and then I don't get around to knitting it for over a year and then I'm not really interested, or I moved on, or there's something else I want to knit more. So what I did to kind of combat that was I went through my Ravelry, went through my stash. It'd been a while since I kind of organized things and really had like a set queue of projects that I want to make. And I realized I have like, I think it's like 15 to 20 projects that like I have yarn for is stored here. And that, I mean, that's at least a year's worth of, and these aren't small projects. Most of these are like sweaters, and like big sweaters, like cardigans and stuff. So that kind of let me go, okay, I don't need more yarn. I have so much beautiful yarn here. I don't need to consume more. I can use what I have. I can be creative with my scraps, like with these gnomes. And it's just helping a little bit right now when things like groceries are just insanely expensive. Like I'm sure all of you can relate right now. So hopefully that maybe is a little idea for you guys who are struggling a little bit with Black Friday and with the sales. And it's like, well, you're saving money, but you're still spending money. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see if I have any remorse for not buying things. I know that's typically not how it works. Usually buyer's remorse is more of a thing, but and I mean, I really haven't come across any sales. I know that like Pearl Soho right now for the whole weekend, I think until Tuesday, it's 25% off all of Pearl Soho goods. So if you're in the market for Pearl Soho yarn, you should probably check that out. The Knit Pick sale has ended. But I mean, I haven't been scouring for sales because I've been trying not to spend. So let me know what you think. Have you guys been buying Black Friday stuff? Have you found any really good, like, can't miss it deals on yarn that even if it's like stored, it's like, okay, well, I have to get this because it's too good of a deal to pass up? I don't know. Let me know. But anyways, I thought that was worth bringing up. It's something I've been thinking about a lot lately. Because it is, as they say, collecting yarn is like a whole other hobby. And like, don't even get me started on fiber. I did buy some fiber, as I said, from Crafty That Way, because I couldn't help myself, and it's supporting a local artist. So I have a better time doing that than with the big box stores. But I don't know. Let me know what you think. Anyways, let's move on to works in progress. This one I showed you, so I'll show you again. This is a quick update. I am working on a half and half triangle wrap Pearl Soho linen quill. I'm using Kettle Black, which is this one here, and Salt and Pepper, which is this. So I finished half, the Salt and Pepper half. I mean, look at how huge this is. I can't even get it all on screen. And then I've started the black. Just look at that contrast. Like, it's so beautiful. And I understand now why people love linen quill so much. And just in this garter stitch like swath of fabric, it is just sumptuous. It's the best. It's going to be so nice when it gets really cold here in January, February, March, April, some of May. Winter lasts a long time here. Yeah, so I mean, I've talked about this before. I'm not going to talk about it much more, but this is my progress here. I'm still on my first of 3 balls of the Kettle Black. And I just kind of work on this when I need a mindless knit. So I haven't been much lately because I've been working on those gnomes and knitting this sweater and knitting a lot on the next thing, which is another Andrea Mowry pattern that I have here in my bucket bag. Actually, before I show you this, I'm actually going to go on another tangent about these bags. So I won't be doing this for a while because I managed to break my sewing machine a couple weeks ago and it's still in the shop and it might be a very expensive fix. I might need a new machine. But anyways, I love making these bags and I just find them, this is by Can Do, this pattern. And I need to obviously check with her. Her patterns say that like she's okay with you selling goods made with her patterns as long as you credit her, which totally makes sense. I'd want to message her just in case I haven't done this yet, but I was thinking of maybe opening up an Etsy store and just making up a few of these bags and seeing if, you know, people want them. I know there's a lot of bag sellers. It's kind of, is it saturated? What do you think? Would any of you want a bag? This is a little tidbit, future planning. Once I reach 500 subscribers, I wanted to make one of these and give them away. So it'll kind of give you an idea of what they're all about. But I thought it might be fun to kind of make a few of these and see if they sell on Etsy. So let me know if you'd be interested, if you know anyone who'd be interested, if you want more information on the pattern. I'll show you it quickly here. It's got this like cinch top. This is just twill tape. But this is quilting cotton and this is just a heavier weight twill fabric. And they're fully lined. So before I show you the cardigan, I'll show you the inside of this bag. Oops. So on this one, I have the lining as this kind of like starry golden dark fabric, and then these little moths for the pockets inside. There's 2 pockets inside this one, and this is holding right now a giant cardigan. So I'd say it could probably hold 6, 7 skeins, 100 gram skeins of yarn. Just to give you an idea. I find them great, so let me know. Anyways, back to the cardigan. This is the Big Cozy Cardi by Andrea Mowry. This is the perfect pattern for me. And the reason is, as you can tell from my excitement about the half and half triangles wrap, this is basically a blanket with arms. It's massive. It takes forever, just a warning, but there's this very cool texture. So essentially there's, maybe I can include a picture here of the cardigan just so you get an idea if you haven't seen this. I'm sure you have because Andrea Mowry is Andrea Mowry. But it's basically this big cocoon cardigan that, like, look at how huge this thing is, that is seamed in a special way, and then it has this shawl collar attached, so it almost looks like you're wearing a cocoon cardi and a shawl. And it calls her a sport, I think it's a sport weight wool, kind of a heavy fingering sport weight for the main body, and then the shawl part is made in Surrey alpaca blend. That's what she calls for. I didn't use a call for yarn, I'll show you guys, but I'm actually gonna just like kind of put on what I've done so far so you can see. Okay, so this is kind of bunched up because it's on the needles, but you can see this is the Surrey alpaca lace weight, and then this is the heavy fingering sport. So the collar's knit at the end, and I'm not gonna give anything away because it's a paper pattern obviously, but just look at this texture. It's amazing. And the Surrey alpaca is going to be so soft and warm. I'm just very, very excited for this. So that's that. I'll talk about the yarn. So for the main body, I continue my obsession with Purl Soho. I'm using Purl Soho Goodwool, which Purl Soho is pretty, it's pretty bougie yarn. It's expensive, but I've never been disappointed. I love Purl Soho yarn. This is one of their more affordable yarns called Goodwool. It's like a sport, heavy fingering, like I said. This is in the color Winter Grass. So I think within the past year, they've put out dyed colors, but it used to only come in like these undyed blends. This is an undyed blend, and it's beautiful. It's 100% Highland wool, non-super wash, so it's like a rustic yarn, and it's a 2-ply. It's just like very squishy, easy to work with. I think with the sale right now, these are around $12. For a skein, which is 100 grams American. So that's not bad for a skein of yarn. But yeah, I love this one. Let's see if I can get this. There we go. And then for the collar, I'm using a new yarn I've never used before. I've actually never knit with Surrey alpaca. So this is called Alpaca Whisper. And actually, this isn't even Surrey alpaca. I'm crazy. This is Estelle Whisper, and it's 54% baby alpaca, 24% mulberry silk, and 22% mohair. But it's got that kind of like, it's fluffy, but it's not fluffy, like wispy, like most mohair is. I really like this. I bought this at Stash, and this is the color Silver, and it's beautiful. I'll show you the contrast again. I wanted something that didn't match exactly with the Goodwool. I wanted something that would kind of complement it, and you can see the contrast here. Like, it's pretty subtle. It's a little more gray, but I think it's going to look really nice. It's going to be a really nice neutral. So this I've knit countless hours on already. I'm kind of maybe a quarter way down the shawl collar, so I still have quite a bit of work. There's finishing, and I think there's some cuffs on the arms too. But yes, I'm in love with this. Hopefully I'll be close to being done this, but I actually have a lot of holiday knitting I'm doing, so we'll see. But speaking of holiday knitting, more of it. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to go there yet. First, I'm going to talk about my next Musselburgh hat. So I've barely started on this. And any of you who watched my last episode, I just knit one of these out of linen quill and brought in my trip with me, and it was awesome. This is how much I've had in this like super, super, super bright pink. I think I will add in the note. I forget, this is a skein of neon pink yarn I had from when I did my 52 weeks of socks. And I just needed this as a contrast color for one of my socks. So I have almost a full skein left. So I thought it'd be perfect for like a statement hat for the winter. I just think pink is really fun. And the reason why I started another Musselburgh is my cousin who lives here in Calgary with me. She is interested in learning how to knit. So of course I'm like, yes, please. I would like another knitting friend. So I know this is ambitious, but I did kind of teach her just with some yarn I had on hand, and she really picked it up quickly. I'm thinking she must have learned from our grandma as well when she was little. And it's just like one of those things that kind of sticks with you sometimes when you're a kid. But because she caught on so quick, and she didn't, you know, I have personally, one of the first things that I knit way back when was a scarf. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's a scarf. It's just rectangle. You don't need to know about knitting in the round, increasing, decreasing. It's just like a rectangle. But it's so boring. And I think it's a really not a great introduction to knitting. Like, you want something, you know, fun, and you want something you're actually going to wear. I've never seen Kelsey wear a scarf, so I thought the Musselburgh hat, because I figured once she gets the hang of things with the increasing right at the beginning, it's just rounds and rounds and rounds of stockinette stitch. So she's going to really be able to practice her knit stitch and just have this like that she can work on, and then know that at the end she's going to have a hat she can actually wear. So I'm kind of guiding her through this, and I'm knitting one at the same time. So we haven't seen each other for a while. She's a very busy person. She has a lot going on. So it'll be a slow burn for this, but I mean, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'll kind of help her a lot more through like the beginning and the end. And I think for a beginner, the Musselburgh is really nice because it's miles and miles of stockinette, but it's folded in on itself. So if for some reason, you know, when you're a new knitter, your gauge can change, your technique can change, you get better at more consistent stitches, the part that is less consistent can just be folded in, and then the more consistent bit at the end can be the part that shows. So I thought it was the perfect kind of intro to knitting that isn't just this like boring gardener knit scarf. So I'll let you know how it goes. Let me know your thoughts. Have any of you taught anyone how to knit? I'm learning it is not as easy as it seems. And I realized that like there's all these things that I just take for granted that I know. Even the way I hold my yarn, I mean, I hold it continental, but I'm teaching her English style just because that's how I learn, and I think that's a good way to learn. With continental, it's easier to get kind of weird stuff with gauge, and I find with English, when you're throwing instead of picking, it's like the different steps. You like stab, and then you wrap, blah, 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 you loop, you take it off. There's like these very confined steps instead of like continental where you're kind of just doing it all at once. So let me know your thoughts. If any of you have taught and have some tips, let me know, because I don't know, I think this is a great experience. I love teaching people things. Back when I was still working, I actually was really interested in kind of teaching teaching like architectural technologies. That's something I wanted to do at one point in time. So we'll see. Maybe it's something that's in my future. Let me know. It'd be cool to get any tips or like input from you. But I'll end that tangent there. Oh my god, so many tangents today. But yeah, this is gonna be a very bright, awesome, fun hat for winter, and I think this is gonna look so cute with like a black or a gray sweater, jacket, just like a pop of color in what can be a very like gray and brown landscape through these months of winter. So that's that. I'm just gonna take another sip here. I'm like out of breath because I feel like I've been talking so much. I don't know if any of you watch Emily Curtis, but I was literally watching her most recent episode right before I started recording today, and her channel is called Gently Chaotic Knits, and just she's it's so perfect for her because I if you haven't watched her, you should, because she's just so endearing and she has so many beautiful projects and she designs, and she just puts so much thought and effort into everything she does. Regardless, she's just she is. It's gently chaotic all the time, and I wish I was more gentle in my chaos, but I just get like nah, and I can't like calm down. So I'm gonna take a sip and hopefully that'll help. Okay, so the last knitting, this isn't, I haven't cast on, so it's kind of a work in progress because I'm about to show you the gauge swatch, but Dad, if you're watching this, please turn it off because I'm about to show everyone what I'm making you for Christmas. And this is not a big deal because everyone knows what my family does is every Christmas there's 5 of us. So me, my parents, my sister, and my brother-in-law, we pick names and we just buy one gift for one person. instead of us kind of feeling the pressure to each buy something for everyone, it allows us to be a little bit more mindful and thoughtful about what we're giving. It frees up money so you're not spending, so much. And it's just kind of nice to, really give thought about one person you're going to give to that year. So this year I picked my dad, which is perfect because I haven't knit him a sweater yet. So I may have talked about this last episode, I can't remember, but I hadn't gauge swatched or bought the yarn yet. I don't think. So I'm going to make the Jasper cardigan by Layla Raven. It's in Making Magazine. It's the Dusk issue. I actually have it right here. So that's the issue. And let's see here. Okay. So this is the cardigan. And I just think it's a unisex cardigan. But this is it shown on the male model, and he looks great. And I just think this is going to be the perfect kind of cozy cardigan for my dad to throw on whatever he's wearing at home. And it actually calls for Peace Fleece. And I have been looking for Peace Fleece for almost a year because I really want to knit this in Peace Fleece. But I can't find it. So I did find a really beautiful heathered yarn that I bought on sale from Stash. Stash every once in a while here in Calgary. For those of you listening not from Calgary, they have a great online store, so it might be worth hearing this. But they have 20% off sale every once in a while. They'll do like a flash sale. So if you sign up for their newsletter, they'll email and say, oh, this weekend or this day, 20% off all yarn. Sometimes it's online only, sometimes it's online and in store. And it's actually worth knowing if you are local, their stock in store is different from their stock online. So if there's something you need from them that you're looking for and they don't have it online, it's often worth calling them or paying them a visit and asking in store because it's a different system. So just so you know that. But I ended up buying this this yarn. So this is Gathering Yarn, Haynes Creek Heather, and the color is number 137, which is called Boreal, and it's just like this gorgeous heathered. It's got gold and turquoise and dark green and brown in there. I just think it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So this is what I bought. It's kind of a heavy worsted Aran weight, and I believe Peace Fleece is worsted, but I believe it's kind of a heavier, like it's a woolen spun yarn. So I had actually used this yarn before to knit a toque a few years ago, and it's still holding strong. Like it's amazing yarn, and it's very affordable. I can't recall how much this was this game, but it was a good price. I got at 20%. I got the entire sweater's worth of yarn. I think it was 10 skeins for around $100, so that's not bad at all. And this, I think this is the right side. So this is the swatch for that. Let's see if I can, there we go. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. I think this is gonna look great. My dad has like dark brown hair and same color eyes as me, so I think this this color will look great on him. And this heathered yarn, just the depth of color in here is, I hope you can see it, but it's really, really beautiful. And it's this nice weight. It's not too heavy, it's not too stiff, but it's also not too loose. Yeah, I think it looks great. So there's the swatch again. And I got almost exactly stitch gauge. I never get row gauge. For some reason, my rows are always, I have way more rows than is called for on the gauge of the pattern, but usually I can get around that by just adjusting for length, which is usually easier. Not always, but usually. So this will be my next cast on because I obviously would like this to be finished before Christmas. So, and blocked and, you know, like nicely wrapped up. It is Aran worsted weight, but it's you know, it's a larger size. So, I mean, it's not going to be huge size, but it'll be larger than what I'm used to knitting for myself. So, the next thing I need to do is figure out what size to knit him. So that's the big task this weekend. And he's going to know he's getting a sweater because I'm going to have to measure him, but that's okay. Anyways, that is my last knitting work in progress. I did want to show you, this is now kind of not appropriate seasonally anymore, but because I showed it last episode, I wanted to update you guys. So this is the cross stitch. It's Modern Folk Embroidery, and it's a Halloween one. It's one I was doing for Halloween, and of course I didn't finish it for Halloween, but that's okay. I'll just put it away for next spooky season, and I definitely will be able to finish it next spooky season. Sorry, I'm just going to take off my needle marker here. So this is All Are Equal in Death, and its pattern is just like one color, but I use 3, and I think it looks, I actually, not to like toot my own horn, but I think it looks awesome. So I'll give you a closer look here. So I will include the colors because I don't have them written down, but the skeleton and the letters are like a very, it's like a off-white, like a more yellowy tinged white, a very light gray for the outline and for the coffin, and then all the foliage is this kind of like, I don't know, what color green is that? It's like a golden green almost. And I just think it looks awesome with this dark fabric. This is actually fabric I had left over. I think I mentioned this last time, but fabric left over from a previous project I thought I was going to do, and the fabric wasn't right, blah, blah, blah. But, sorry about the crinkling. This will be going away until next October. Okay. Holy cow, okay, I'm almost done. Okay, so this is my only acquisition, and this, oh no, I lie. I have 2 magazines too that I'm going to show you, but first I'll show you the fiber I bought. So this, just look how gorgeous this is. I got this from Kim, Crafty That Way. This is, the colorway is called the Twilight Hours, and it's this just gorgeous like blues and reds and golds and oranges. Like, I'm so excited. I think this will be a fractal spin. I mean, how can it not? It's just so beautiful. And this is a blend of Targhee, 80% Targhee, 10% bamboo, and 10% silk. And that's what that, kind of the white in there, I think that's the silk or the bamboo. I think, actually, maybe it's the bamboo, because the silk would dye with acid dye, but the bamboo wouldn't. So you get these like wisps of like white blended in. I just think it's super beautiful. So I bought 2, and I'm thinking this will be maybe the yoke of a sweater, maybe a shawl, I don't know. Something beautiful. I'm so excited to spin these. I'm back again. I've been talking for an hour. No big deal. Anyways, I just have 2 more little things to show you. If you've been watching any of my other episodes, you know that I have subscriptions to Making Magazine and to Lina. So I believe these are the last 2 I'm getting for the year. Makes sense. It's almost December. And I'm just trying to think. I think Making I will renew. Lina, I'm not sure. I might try another magazine like Pom Pom or something, but we'll see. Anyways, they're beautiful. Recommend them to anyone. Just wanted to show the making. So this is inside, is what this edition is called. And there are, the thing I love about making is these, like even the ads are curated to be in the theme of the, I want to call it a book. It's a periodical. It's not a magazine. Anyways, there's always, I love making because they have knitting, but they also have different crafts. So like in this one book, there are, I think there's like 14 knitting patterns and like 10 different crafts. So there's a ton of content in these books. And I mean, they're not cheap, that's for sure, but like look at these. This is like a tea cozy and pot holder set. They're just so, I don't know, they're really nice. There's like a tea, there's this, this wrap. Sorry, I'm trying not to show the pattern. Oh yeah, here's some more pictures of that wrap. Just gorgeous. And the photography is beautiful, and I'm about to run out of battery. Just one sec. Holy moly. Okay, I'm back. Luckily I had another charged battery. Anyways, what was I saying? Right, beautiful photography. I'm just going to show you a couple more of my like very favorite things. Actually, I've been asking a lot of questions. I hope that's, I don't know. Let me think about all the let me know about all the questions I'm asking. Anyways, do you guys have subscriptions? What do you have subscriptions to? Do you like it? Like, let me know. What else did I want to show you guys in here? Oh, this. I mean, this is like my 70s dream. This kind of reminds me of something that like Winifred would wear in The Shining. This is a very specific reference. Let me know if you know what I'm talking about. But like, oh, it's so gorgeous. Look at that. And this wrap, I mean, anyways. Lots and lots and lots and lots of good stuff in here. And also every issue comes with a digital copy too. I find that really helpful because I like to keep these intact. I mean, my making one, the dusk one I've kind of worn in a bit. I mean, that's okay too, but I mean, I'm never getting rid of these. These will be good forever. The second magazine I got is the Lina Autumn 2022. It's Road Trip. They actually rebranded this year. I'm not sure how I feel about this. It's not bad, but I like their other branding better, honestly. But like, change can be good. But speaking of beautiful photography, I mean, most of you know this, but Lina just always has great patterns. This like this Hento sweater is super cute. Everything in here, I mean, is beautiful. Look at this. Look at this yoga sweater. I mean, come on. Oh, and this one too. All of them. I want to knit all of them. This is the other sweater I really love in here. So you can find these all on Ravelry, or you can look at Lina's website. And as per usual, they have recipes in here. They have interviews with makers, and they have usually around 12 to 13 patterns per issue. My brain has stopped working apparently. But yeah, this is another great one. I'm going to knit at least a couple from this. Yeah. So I think that's it. I mean, I've been rambling on here for, I think, over an hour. Excuse me. My nose is itchy. As usual, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate everyone who comes here, comments. I'm going to say the YouTube thing. If you could please like and subscribe, that would be really appreciated. It helps me get out there. My last, this isn't a big deal, but my last video didn't get as many views, and I'm wondering why. I'm wondering if it's because of the inconsistency, or if I'm doing something wrong, or if they changed the algorithm, like, who knows. But I mean, the more people see this, the better it is. And like I said, if I can get to those 500 subscribers, I'm definitely gonna do a giveaway. So let me know what you think of those bags. Subscribe, and you know, thanks again. It's really nice recording these when I'm able to like find the energy to sit down and do it. So and also I did open up a bit last episode about some of my personal stuff, health stuff going on. So thank you to everyone who commented and who watched. I really appreciate your support. So this community, I mean, it's the best. Everyone is amazing, and I think it's really wonderful when I can put myself out there like this. And like, the internet can be a rough place, and I've received nothing but support and love. So thank you so much. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you have a great long weekend if you're in the United States, and you can look forward soon to that bonus episode. Yeah, hope you're doing well. I'll see you next time. Bye.